Hey everyone. I've talked about my dad a few times already on this channel, not usually, always when it's music related. And there's a specific song I kind of wanted to talk about, and it's an interesting story, I feel. Now, I grew up with a dad who loves collecting music. My dad loves music, all the kind. He goes from fucking Justin Bieber to Rammstein. He doesn't give a fuck what it is. He really just loves music. And when you grow up with a dad like that, you hear music all the time. I grew up as like a baby, listening to Elvis and the Beatles, Cliff Richard. There's like Elton John and Moody Blues. There's just so much shit non-stop all the time. And certain things just grow on you, and certain things, they define you, and certain things defined him, I feel. There's some music that I'll always link to my dad, and there's this one song. We're getting there. So back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have, goddamn, this shit's gonna make me sound old. We didn't have MP3 players and, fucking smart cell phones and shit, or TVs that could do all that shit. You had a cassette player. And if you wanted specific songs on there, you had to make your own cassette tapes. Now we would listen to the radio, and then you hit record, and it would record the song from the radio on your cassette tape, and you would put that in your Walkman and take it with you. And my dad was pretty good with music always, and he often made us, me and my brothers, his own compilation tapes. He would, for example, some of his favorite musicians, like Rob de Nijs, which is a really famous Dutch singer, and Cliff Richard, which is a really famous UK singer. And those are his favorite singers. And he would make us mixtapes, compilation tapes. He would take his CDs and add the songs that he enjoyed, and he would give those to us, and then we could take them with us or listen to that in our room. And Sir Cliff Richard, I always like this. I feel like the Sir in the UK, people can get knighted, and I feel it's like the European version of a star on the Walk of Fame. And I always imagined when I was younger these guys wearing like knight armors and shit. Anyway, I'm so drifting off. And Sir Cliff Richard, he was really fucking famous. Starting at the 50s, I think he started becoming really famous. And he had many fucking hits all throughout Europe, and my dad has close to all his shit. Hundreds and hundreds of CDs and albums and LPs. There's so much goddamn shit. Literally walls filled with shit. And Sir Cliff Richard at one point had a song, and that song is Devil Woman.
So I came into you, sweet lady, answering your mystical call. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes, and I knew it was a spell she cast. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind.
And I always liked the song Devil Woman. And you listen to this compilation tape a lot through your life, even when CDs came into play, and that's new, and in the story it's still old, CDs, and then you went to MP3 players, and you made songs go from one place to the other, so you could always take it with you and you could listen to it, and then the internet was there, so you can make playlists online. You couldn't do that shit in the past. So you make playlists online and you always like these songs. And then slowly during the years, I discovered myself, I discovered my music, which is metal. I love metal. And some of the first bands I discovered were like Amorphous, Slipknot. You had obviously shit like Iron Maiden, Guns N' Roses, and you moved over to like Dimmu Borgir and Cradle of Filth. My neighbor introduced me to Cradle of Filth, and I think I started listening to them near Cruelty and the Beast. Either way, Cruelty and the Beast is the first album I heard of them. And obviously I fucking love the album, still one of my favorite albums today. And you discover more music, and so obviously they're still one of my all-time favorite bands. I fucking love Cradle of Filth. And they're also UK based. Are you feeling where this is going? So when Cradle of Filth launched Nymphetamine, they had a specific version of the album that came with some extra songs. And one of the songs was a cover of Devil Woman.
So I came into you, sweet lady, answering your mystical call. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. A snake cat with an evil eyes, and I knew it was a spell she caused. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman. She's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman. She's gonna get you.
After I heard that song, I felt life was complete. A generational gap had been bridged. Me and my dad's generation were fused together. The cycle of life was complete when Sir Cliff Richard and Cradle of Filth became the same fucking thing. And I love both versions. Like I grew up with the Cliff Richard version. I grew up with Cliff Richard, you know. When I would have a kid later, my kid would grow up with the music I like because you hear it through the house. You know, when my dad had a day off, he would play music, and the weekend he would play music, and on his free time he would play music. He just loves listening to music. He's always listening to music. So when I grew up with something like Cliff Richard, and you know, some things I like less, some things I like more, but certain things they grow on you. Like I said, Cliff Richard to me defined what is my dad. And when Cradle of Filth, when I discovered my music, metal, and even more specifically I discovered black metal, and then I discovered Cradle of Filth, and I was like, this is my shit, this is my music. And when Cradle of Filth covered them, and it basically became the exact same thing, where that one song really like interlocked everything so nicely together, I felt like, yes, this is it.
I can see me a tall, dark stranger giving you what you hadn't planned. I drank the potion she offered me.
I found myself on the floor, and I looked in those big green eyes, and I wonder what I came there for. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman. She's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind.
Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind.
I like doing those transitions always. I just really wanted to make this video. Everybody can always review an album, review a game, but I feel the little more personal things. That's what makes a channel interesting, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and considering I want to elaborate my metal videos more, this is a really good place to start. I can listen to either song as much as I want, every day, every week, every month. Like I said, I still listen to Cliff Richard now. And most of the singers my dad introduced me to, while still being able to enjoy my metal and feeling like there's a connection. I just enjoy those kinds of things where metal bands cover more like pop kind of stuff. Like, it can lead to some very interesting discoveries like this. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And stay real.